for some information about Morgan.
Morgan was our third attempt, our little breakthrough.
It's the next step in evolution. It's bioengineered with synthetic DNA.
Within a month, walking and talking. Within 6 months, it exceeded our wildest expectations.
Well, Morgan's not a robot. She is a synthetic being. So she's sort of created in the lab from the same chemistry that you and I and everyone else are made from. So not a robot, not artificial intelligence. She's a synthetic human being. Is it a cautionary tale? I think in context of Morgan, I think yes. But my own personal views are we should be getting into this and have a look at how to improve the human species at a kind of evolutionary level. Yes, Morgan is an it, and actually is coded as an it. The thing is that when you take away the sort of features or the in my mind, and I may be completely wrong, so I apologize if I cause offense, but if you take away the masculine characteristics of a being, you start moving more towards a feminized being. And that's not to say that that kind of that neutrality of gender is particularly feminine. It's just without the kind of sort of strong, or, you know, the forceful aspects of masculinity. You start to get a slightly more balanced, if you like, kind of being, I think. I mean, that was my theory, at least. Yes, it's unfortunate because the Ex Machina, which is a very good film, albeit it's about a robot, but the movie Ex Machina came out as I was kind of beginning my production of Morgan, and I tried not to go and see it, but I couldn't help it. There was a curiosity, but we had already established much of the kind of details of Morgan already, and so I went to go and see it, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because as Morgan was then, you know, there was some closer similarities to Ex Machina, and I thought it was probably a good idea to start moving away from that, to avoid any comparison. It's inevitable, and it's just an unfortunate quirk of nature that from one year to the next, you know, it takes about a year to 2 years to make a movie. So it felt that my production fell just as Ex Machina was coming out. What can I do? Gosh, that's a very difficult question to answer. I mean, Hollywood, or the movie business, is that. It's a business. There is a desire from the audiences to consume a certain product. And so I think the success of the various sequels and the, you know, whether or not it's the, you know, the DC or Marvel universe, or, you know, the Star Wars franchise or the Bourne franchise, there is a kind of safety in that audience for a studio to kind of latch on to. I think what's interesting is that what has happened over the years, and most recently, say, with Star Trek or with the Superman or the Batman franchises, is this idea of updating and reinvention to include more relevant ideas. So I think actually what's happening is an improvement of these stories, and is really very creative and pushing that creativity. Original storytelling is still very much in Hollywood, you know, and you see it all the time. I mean, you know, there's numerous movies. In fact, well, the best movie I've seen actually really probably isn't a Hollywood movie of late, but it was a Colombian film called The Embrace of the Serpent, which is a terrific movie. Wow. Whether or not Hollywood embraced that kind of movie making, I'm not so sure. It's for a very small market People want to go to the cinema to have a good time. They want to spend money to have an experience and possibly not have to think about it too much. So I think that's hopefully we make people's lives a little bit better. Oh my word. That is difficult. The best sci-fi movie ever made. Let me think about that one. So who do I look? I look up to so many directors, but I would say of all of them, my favorite director of all time is Michael Cimino, who sadly passed away recently. But I think he made some terrific movies. They were real, blue-collar movies that I love. I think they're just fascinating to watch and very, very brave and courageous movies. The best sci-fi movie? There was a movie years ago called Dark Star, Dan O'Bannon. I thought that was hysterically funny. And I love that film, yeah. It was very original.
I mean, you think it's normal for friends to lock each other in cages? What would you do if I recommended that you should not be allowed to leave this room? What if I recommended that you be terminated?
We should end this.
Answer me! What would you do?